Hello everybody, welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. I'm your host, Trash in Space! That kind of hurts my throat. Anyway, here we go. Before we get started on this wonderful, lovely game, I was having some thoughts earlier today, and I need to get some of those thoughts off my chest because I think they're kind of important. So, I'd just like to draw your attention to this guy right here. This guy. Anyway, this, as you remember, is Lord Mithros, whom we met back in like episode 1. And I just want to draw a little bit of attention to the fact that his face looks almost exactly like Delora's, like with the turtle mouth, the black hair, and the red eyes, and like, I'm not saying they're related, but it absolutely would not surprise me at all, in the slightest, not one tiny whit, if, like, they were related or connected in some way, or if Lord Mithros was, in fact, a witch. And I feel like my theory in this matter is greatly supported by the fact that if you notice his, whatever they call that, the brooch that goes on the cravat thingy, and then also his little breast pocket buttons. They're shaped like our infinity gems, and I'm pretty sure that that is significant and important, and I don't know, he's just really shady. And it was also occurring to me that, like, every year on Sophie's birthday, she would get, like, the instructions to go on the scavenger hunt to get the room full of the presents and the cake and everything, and there would always be a card signed M. And that just struck me as, like, super weird, because the game wants you to believe that, you know, M means mother. But first of all, that's super out of character for Mother to, like, be that affectionate and, like, just do something that nice. And also, like, what mom signs a birthday card M instead of mom or mother or just, like, a heart? Anyway, I'm somewhat convinced that those were actually all from Lord Mithros over the years, and now that I'm saying that out loud, it sounds hecka creepy, because here he is, a grown man, giving presents and saying I love you to this little girl who is slowly growing up. But as creepy as it sounds, it still wouldn't surprise me, because he clearly has some latent loyalty or affection or something for Mother, and he made specific note of how much we look like our mother, and maybe I'm totally wrong and off base on all of this, but I just wanted to draw y'all's attention to Lord Mithros, because I think it's important, and I think it's significant that he has the yellow infinity gems there. He's the one with the Mind Stone. Woo, we've got a full set! Yes! Yeah. Anyway, so, conclusion number 1. Lord Mithros is a witch. 2, there's some part of him, and I have no idea how potent that part may be, that thirsted for my blood. And 3, that I was completely and irrevocably in love with— no. None of that today. Sorry, Twilight Shirt, you don't get to deal with this. Anyway, that was just my thoughts on Lord Mithros that I had to share before getting into this again, because, yeah, I was just having thoughts, you know, like, can't just tell a girl not to have thoughts. Unless you're Gaston. Never mind. Okay, let's just get rid of that guy. Yes, let's get rid of that guy, and let's get back in. Okay, continue. Now, as some of you may remember, we left off with slapping Rumple, and I was really uncomfortable with slapping Rumple in that moment. Like, none of the characters reacted very well to it, and it sort of occurred to me, like, right after I did it, that, like, here's Sophie causing a scene in this bar, and it's just, like, it's out of character for her, even though, you know, she's mean enough to do it. She's not usually very, like, loud and open and slappy. So, out of character for her, you know, Jurian got all upset, Karma was still upset, Rumple was just, like, distraught. It was terrible. So, we're gonna go back. We are gonna go back to the save before we slapped him, and we are going to unslap him, because I want to know what happens, and I wasn't satisfied with what did happen when we resorted to violence. So let's not resort to violence, and we're gonna stand up for Rumple. No matter how annoying Rumple is, I don't think he deserves to be abused so much. Besides, Karma does not usually lash out like this. See, that's all true. I moved to stand in front of Rumple. Princess? This is pathetic. Karma, I know you're not in a mood for pleasantries, but that's no excuse to hurt Rumple. Princess, please move. You're acting like a petulant child. Dots. Fine. You're right. I wasn't expecting him to so easily admit to a mistake. I turned to Rumple. I was only standing up for you, Rumple, because Karma is annoying me. I looked down at my necklace, but there's no extra piece. Sweetie, you were expecting that to be your first good deed? I mean, it was kind of good, but okay. So that wasn't a good deed either. Alright, what's happening over here? Jurian comes to stand in front of us, her expression stern. Oh, nothing, my sweet. I was just showing myself out. Thank you, Princess Sophie. And exit stage right. Rumple leaves and I am alone with Karma. He slumps back into his chair. After making sure that he won't do anything rash again, Jurian leaves us. Oh! Hey, turns out that was the right choice all along. Okay, well, I'm really glad we went back and didn't slap Rumple. That makes me happy that we didn't do that. I'm sorry, Princess. It appears I really was being a child. Rumple is harmless, and there's no reason for me to act as uncivilized as I did. What would Father think? Father? Oh, it's nothing. But please, if you would, can you give me some time alone? Fine. Okay. I leave Karma sitting there by himself and return to the front of the tavern where Annis has more chores waiting for me. Today I have to work as a server, which is still better than working with Mr. Broom. Don't you dare say that about Mr. Broom! Mr. Broom is a national treasure! The usual people are at the tavern, and I overhear conversations as I work. At one point, Garland walks over to the bar, and Annis serves him a drink. He looks sullen, and I watch him curiously for a few moments. Then I notice he's staring at Jurian, who is talking sternly to two drunken men continuously clacking their bottles together at a table. I think all of this dialogue is looped back into what we read at the end of last episode, so I am going to go ahead and skip it forward to the end of this scene and get to where we left off last time. Yes, okay, here we are. As the tavern clears for the day, I finally have time to sit down and relax. As I'm sitting there, Waltz pulls up a chair and sits in front of me. Hello, Waltz. Hello, Princess. I heard from Annis that you were excellent at your job today. Congratulations on improving. Thanks, Waltz. Sophie says Dots, but I say thanks. By the way, related to my recent tangent about Delora and Lord Mithros, you too have black hair and red eyes. Now, I'm not saying all witches need to have black hair and red eyes. I'm not even, like, fully confirmed that Mithros is indeed a witch, but I just find it awfully convenient that, you know, both of you look all Sebastian-y with your black hair and your red eyes and your turtle mouth, and honestly, so does Delora. Princess? So you're mocking me now too? Sophie, shut up. Princess, I think you're taking things too seriously. The intention of a compliment is to, well, compliment someone. We're not making fun of you. And further supporting my theory that Waltz is probably a witch is the fact that he literally did magic as we were standing there when we met him in, like, the second episode. Now, I realize that that was, like, street magic and sleight of hand and shit, but it could easily have been actually real magic or supplemented by real magic. I'm just saying I'm not ruling it out. You're implying that I'm not normally as good as this. You're not! That's the point, Sophie! Nobody is good at something when they first started, unless you're, like, extraordinarily lucky or whatever. But, like, seriously, nobody is good. And you are not either, so just take the compliment in the spirit it was intended. We never said you weren't good at this, only that you were better today. Dots. Let me give you an example. I put on puppet shows for kids. Sometimes the children come to me and say that the show was even better than usual. So the children are telling you that your shows aren't normally satisfactory. No, Sophie, you are not learning. I don't usually want to strangle this protagonist, but I kind of want to strangle this protagonist. Not at all. The children always smile, regardless of whether they really like the show. So as long as you're trying your best, that's all that matters. The people in the bar are always smiling when you deliver food to them, aren't they? No, no one likes me here. Gee, with that attitude, I wonder why. Maybe if you smiled, they would smile back. I'm not going to smile for any of them. I do not owe them anything. Sweetie, remember what we said about endorphins? Okay, endorphins make you happy. Happy people don't shoot their husbands. They just don't. You don't need to owe anyone a smile. Any smile that isn't owed is fake. Sophie, you misunderstand the entire concept of a smile and why you would give one. By the way, while we're here on the subject, I'm pretty sure that Mother really messed us up. Like, really, really messed us up with this whole, like, everybody will always try to take things from you. Like, this is full-on, like, Judge Claude Frollo, Mother Gothel, like, mental manipulation crap. And if everything that I've been saying about Lord Mithras holds true, and if what that one peasant lady said about Mother being a witch was also true, like, it could have just been meant as a generic insult witch, but given kind of what we've seen so far, it could be, like, actual witchcraft. The point is that I'm trying to make, if the witches in general are being cast as, you know, straight-up bad guys or good guys gone corrupted, then Mother being a witch and also being this manipulative a-hole, it all just kind of fits. I'm not saying that's what it is, but, you know, if it is, I told you so. Okay. I'm just having so many thoughts and feelings and thoughts. Okay, Princess. I'm leaving, Waltz. I want some time to myself. I walk upstairs to my bedroom, pointedly ignoring the look of sadness on Waltz's face. You are being such a Bella. Where did I put Grumpy Cat? Oh! Grumpy Cat's all the way over there. No! Fine. Dots. I've been sleeplessly laying on my bed for hours. Sometimes I hear the sounds of people walking through the hallway. Are they laughing? Who would be up at this time of night? I need to leave and get some fresh air. Do not leave. Do not. It's eerily quiet at night. I stop when I hear faint sounds coming from outside. What is that? Okay, here's the thing. There's a pact that says nobody's allowed to harm you inside the tavern. A lot of people hate you, though, and would harm you outside the tavern. We are gonna stay inside, like smart people, but we're also gonna save first, like, just in case. Let's see, we can save over the save file we made last time. That's fine. Alright, we're gonna stay inside. On second thought, maybe it would be dangerous. You think? I turn and see Delora looking at me with amusement flickering in her eyes. Did you come down to visit Mr. Broom or something? I didn't know you two had gotten so close. Sweetie, don't you even get me started on the various uses of brooms. Also, gemstone, infinity mind stone gem thingy right here. See, I'm totally in league with Lord Mithras. We haven't. Sweetie, it's a joke, Princess. You really don't have a sense of humor, do you? This is the half of Sophie that represents my archenemy. I think it is you who does not have a sense of humor. Au contraire, Princess. I think Delora has a fabulous sense of humor. For example, she turned you into a peasant, and that's hilarious. Snappy as a crocodile, as always. So what are you doing down here? Couldn't sleep? Me too. I heard some sounds. I just wanted to see where they were coming from. Sounds? Are you really spooked by some sound from the forest? Or are you just too curious for your own good? Curiosity killed the cat, you know. Yeah, but satisfaction brought it back. What now? I did not ask for your opinion, witch. Well, the both of us could use some fresh air, don't you think? I stare at her in surprise. What? 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 Come on. I know a place we can go. Hey. Delore and I eventually find ourselves in the forest. Those sounds. Sounds like metal against metal. Yeah, it kind of sounds like the hammer of a gun, or like somebody trying to light a Zippo. Well, I guess with you being partnered with Karma, you would find out eventually. Excuse me? I get the answer to my question when we walk through the trees and come into a clearing. I finally see where the sounds are coming from. Were you hearing them in the tavern all the way from the woods, or has this been like a trail of sounds and you're like following the trail that we blaze, and oh, there's fencing happening. Two men stand in the clearing, swords clashing. One of the men is Garland, who is poised with his sword. Takes me a moment to realize that the other is Karma, who isn't in a dress. Damn. Wow. God, he's so handsome. So, it was he who was with Waltz last night? Neither he nor Garland notice us at first. My God, he's so handsome! Why is he so handsome? It's not fair! Princess, you're staring. I can't help it! Of course I am. What is all of this? A practice session. Karma is a very talented swordsman, and he practices at night with either Jurian or Garland, depending on who's not on patrol. What a sweetie pie! Karma can use a sword that well? The king told me once that only knights could have such skill. Just who is Karma? Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's so beautiful. Oh, if it isn't the princess. Ah! Do you have super secret night vision too? His voice is nothing like the feminine voice I always hear from him. Oh no, now I gotta come up with a new voice. Karma actually sounds like a man. Okay. I'll just accept this. I notice him looking at me in between his strikes with a little smile. Karma always smiles. Like, even when he's upset, it seems like he's always smiling. It's because he discovered the power of endorphins. You should take some lessons. How does he remain so composed and steady with a distraction? Maybe, sweetie, you're not as much of a distraction as you think. Princess? Karma quickly finds an opening in Garland's hesitant stance, then pins him to the ground with his sword. Still smiling. See, with Garland, you know that some chick showing up randomly is going to be a distraction because of how he reacts to Jurian and the fact that he's just a big doofy doof. But Karma is always composed. Like, all the time. To be distracted is to die, Garland. See? He gets it! He totally gets it! God, you're so handsome. I know. The ability to see distractions and then put them in the back of your mind is one every knight should hone. Were you a knight? Were you a knight? Tell me your story, Karma! You must know everything that is happening around you, but only deal with the pertinent things. Like Batman! Ah! Yes, sir. Sir? What? Is that just like politeness, or is there like a reason for the sirring? Karma straightens, sword in hand. Moments later, Garland stumbles to his feet and gives an obedient bow. What? Karma nods at him before sheathing his sword. A slow melancholy begins to creep into my heart. When is melancholy? Never mind. For some reason, seeing this sword practice makes me nostalgic, though I'm not sure why. What are you practicing for? To be good at swordsmanship, Soph! To protect, Princess. Knowing the sword is the same as knowing the shield. It's a means to protect. Yeah, it's also a means to stabbity-stab people. To protect. I think I remember having this kind of conversation with them before. Hi, Fenris! Can never figure out how to counter an opponent when they're mere inches from my face. My commander called that one the enemy's kiss, a standoff where your eyes lock onto your opponents because of the proximity. The best way to counter that is to feint the sword in the opposite direction. Throws your opponent off because they're not looking. Ah, that makes sense. But the enemy's kiss. What a name. At least it's not the Dementor's kiss. It seems so dramatic for a sword move, doesn't it? Swordplay is dramatic enough, though, isn't it? Isn't the most effective swordplay not meant to be flashy? Right, it's meant for subtlety and stuff. Princess. I didn't notice you there. Fritz, is it not your job to know where the princess is at all effin' times? Good morning, princess. Well, the most effective swordplay cannot be predicted. The commander says it needs to be robust. And quick. Sometimes swordplay can look like dancing, though, which is why some think professionals are flashy. That seems unnecessary. Sophie, you know jack shit about fencing, so why don't you leave it to the professionals and STFU? Everyone has their own methods, their own skills. All of us knights fight for different reasons as well. Isn't it to protect all of us in the palace? And all of us in the kingdom! Well, yes, but we protect everyone in the castle for different reasons, princess. Because we're getting paid for it, and because we like the ladies, and because we're a puppy! The knights protect for different reasons. I turned to Karma. But Karma, you're not a knight. Maybe he was. No, I am most definitely not. Oh, okay, well, I cleared that up. But since Garland and Jurian begged me to teach them, I have somehow become their mentor. Yeah, somehow. There's no way Garland and Jurian would do that. Sophie, you are full of shit. After all, the both of them were the best knights in Angel before they were stripped of their titles. Wow. Way to open up an old wound! Karma actually speaks the truth. Jurian and I really did have to get down on our knees and beg for him to instruct us. Did you? Did you have to get on your knees and beg? Because that's... I'm conjuring up all sorts of weird images of Sephiroth right now because of that, You know that line that he says to Cloud, you know, on your knees, I want you to beg for forgiveness? Yeah, that. I've got that playing on like a loop in my head now. Thanks. What? Is Karma really so talented? Did you not just see? So sparkly. So, you're finally impressed with me. What do you think, princess? I'm the picture of elegance in this outfit, aren't I? Yes, actually you are. You know, I don't know why you and Rumpel fight so often. You really are very similar. You just made him mad. Look at his mad eyebrows. Don't compare me to that fool. He has no class. Just because you come from different backgrounds doesn't mean he has less class. How do you know? You don't know what level of class he has. He doesn't remember. Karma says dots. So the reason you were so tired today is because you do all these practices at night? Because he spends all night playing with his sword. Ho ho, I suppose I've been caught red-handed. Why does this have to be a secret? Does it have to do with Karma's curse? But he's not in his disguise now. Yeah, why aren't you falling in love with him? Didn't he describe the fact that women just like fawn at his feet like I'm doing right now? We could have been working on breaking our curses today, but no, you decided that staying up late into the night and practicing was more important. Sophie! 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 Ugh! It's probably why you were grumpy this morning. Oh my god, Sophie. Oh my god, Sophie. You need to learn how to think about, like, one other person in the world besides yourself for, like, 1 effing second, okay? Like, just one. Maybe that would count as a good deed. Well, our protection is vital, don't you think? Look at him smile. Garland, you were at the palace. How is it that Karma possesses more skill with a sword than you? Princess! Karma is special, princess. He's more talented with the sword than a lot of other people. And I do pride myself on being a splendid instructor. But never fear, princess. I will help you dispel your curse. After all, you did just suggest that we were still partners. Can he really help me with my curse? But how will he do that by just presenting opportunities? The teacher can open the door, but you must enter by yourself. We'll try again tomorrow, darling. But for now, Garland and I have some more work to do. This time, Garland, Do not lose focus. Okay, I'm done. Yes, sir! The sound of swords carries through the night air, and for a long while, I stand with Delora watching the two men fight. Karma chides Garland often, telling him his concentration is waning. Yeah, because it's late at night! Karma is a good swordsman, perhaps even better than the Palace Knights. His nimble swordplay repeats again and again in my head, even when I return to the tavern for the night. Sophie, I've told you before that the Knights are an unruly bunch. I literally almost said that they were going to lunch. But Mother, they're so much fun to watch! They're dangerous, Sophie. Any person with a sword has the potential to use it on you. Yeah, but literally anything could be a weapon. A fork! But Father says that those knights are supposed to protect me. That they are, as that is their order. But as people, they may not be so good, Sophie. Not so good? The king has told you that knights are meant to use swords to protect you, but you cannot trust them completely. Even though Father said they would keep me safe? Sometimes the people we trust are the most deceitful. And a man with a sword has a weapon to use against you. No matter what he says, be wary that he can turn on you. Okay, Mother, character, it's not that you're wrong, but I feel like maybe this is not the appropriate conversation to be having with a child. Most children don't fully understand these kinds of nuanced things. Haven't I told you before that you should not trust people? Mother! You're such a turd! But the knights are... Even knights can be treacherous, Sophie. Do not trust a man with a sword. He can be dangerous. Don't trust a man with a fork! You could stab a man with a fork! You could get him right in the eye! It would really hurt! Hell, don't trust a man with an unreasonably grown-out long fingernail! He could stab you with it, and it's full of bacteria. Okay. I'm just saying. Yes, Mother, I understand. Try to understand, my sweet. I only want you to be safe. So many Judge Claude Frollo feels! Ugh! Yes, I understand. Girlfriends, it's chapter 4. When? Hey, look, a forest. Why is he back in his lady clothes? It's nighttime, aren't they sword fighting? Jurian, if you don't come at me like you truly mean to stab me, you'll never land a hit. Oh, is this to teach Garland how to fight against an opponent who might be or appear to be female? Oh, wait. Pfft. Talking to Jurian. Wow, my brain. Hang on, go back. Nope. Okay. Okay. But just going back to the title card here. Yes. Yeah, he was talking to Jurian this whole time. See? Brain. Oh, okay. No, if he's talking to Jurian, that means that he's dressed as a lady, because if he was dressed as a dude, she would fall in love with him, because, like, that's what happens. That's his curse. Okay. I gotcha. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. It has been about 2 weeks since I first saw Karma here in the forest, practicing with Garland. I have come here every night since then, though I never stay as long as Karma, since I actually have work to do in the mornings. I don't like your tone! At all. You sound resentful. Like, he's doing his work now. This is his work. Also, I think it's cute that you come and watch every night. It's all very... This is getting steadily more Twilight, but in, like, an adorable and maybe slightly less unhealthy way? Alright, here I come. Their two swords clash, and Karma laughs as he throws Jurian back and taps her lightly on the shoulder with his sword. That makes 4 hits. That one was easy. Is that the best you can do, Jurian? I notice that every time Karma practices with Jurian, he's in his Miss Karma disguise. He says it is because of the curse, and he does not want Jurian to fall in love with him. See, that's my hypothesis. Is it true, though? Isn't he being overdramatic? I doubt someone like Jurian could fall in love with Karma. Yeah, but if Karma's power attracts, like, everybody, like, including me... Be subtle and quiet. Garland tells me you're usually good at that. Resisting the jokes. I am, sir. And why the exception today? Oh, he looks so sad. Sir? Darling, it wouldn't happen to be because of the way I'm dressed, would it? Are you still not used to it? Hit the nail on the head, have I? It's not very chivalrous to hurt a lady, of course, but that logic applies to men as well. Like, it's not nice to hurt anybody! Pretty sure that's the logic. An enemy is an enemy, Jurian, even if your enemy is a delicate flower like myself. Somebody who recently played Undertale. That sentence holds even more weight than it probably ought to. Delicate flower. Jurian, you should hit him on the head for that. But Princess! Oh, he looks so sad again. He's not delicate at all. But look at his finely chiseled features and his well-plucked eyebrows. Jurian laughs and I scowl at her. Is she laughing at me? You made a joke! It was funny! You and Karma seem to get along. I doubt it. Oh, Princess, you wound me. Stop wounding him! You always say that. Yeah, have you seen all of his stabs? That's why he wears such a flurfy, cravatty thingy. 'Cause he's wounded. You wound me where Jurian's blade cannot. Something flashes in Jurian's eyes as she readies her sword again. Karma stands ready as Jurian rushes at him with her sword. Their swords clash again. I wonder... Karma, your back's open. Karma turns. Jurian taps him on the shoulder and laughs aloud. I did it! A single hit! Looks like you have a weakness too, Karma. Oh, you weren't able to filter out that impertinent information, were ya? No, it wasn't a weakness. It was the lack of sleep catching up with me. Why did he listen to me? He told Garland the other day it was crucial to only listen and watch for the most important things. Oh. Alright, practice is over for now. I can see Garland coming for his practice. Karma walks to a corner to have a drink. I should probably head back to the tavern soon, but there's something I want to see first. On her way out, Jurian gives a solemn nod to Garland. She pauses to say something to him and then looks at me, noticing my vague curiosity. I was just mentioning what a good swordsman Karma is. I've seen him fight, and Karma is a good swordsman, there's no doubt about it. Yet is practicing with him really so special? He's fast on his feet and quick with his reactions. He's an excellent person to train under, even better than most of the commanders in the palace. Gonna resist making so many comments. Gonna resist it. I just want to make everything into a dirty joke, and nope. I can second that. Even better than Ross, remember him? The first commander we trained under, the one that punished slow learning with extra exercises. You always had to do more exercises than I did. Something about you being distracted? I was watching the way you swung your sword to make sure you didn't hurt yourself. Oh, look at his blush. Oh, what a cutie. You've always been overprotective. Well, They both suddenly stop to look at Karma, who's smiling slyly on the side. He knows. Why does he have that look on his face? Because he knows! Well, that's a sign. I can't keep the commander waiting. Garland shakes his head, his expression snapping back into something more serious. Right. The two exchange quick farewells before Jurian waves and steps out of the clearing, leaving Garland with Karma. You're in a dress today. Are you two really so opposed to hurting me when I'm in a dress? Or are you worried about ruining it? I would be worried about ruining that beautiful dress. And that beautiful scarf, it's got roses on it. No. It's just so strange. You move so well, even in a long dress. It's called leggings under the dress. But yes, Jurian did mention almost stepping on it once. Impossible. I am the picture of elegance. Yes, you are. Of course, sir. Karma shrugs Garland's comments off. The two ready their swords, then get right into practice. Jurian has taken over Garland's patrol now so that Garland can get in some practice time. So, Garland, have you told Jurian yet? No. The conversation that Karma always has with Garland is the real reason I stay behind to watch them practice. I don't understand why Garland answers Karma's question if doing so makes him so depressed. Will you ever say anything to her, Garland? Dots. Why don't you just confess to her already? See, even Sophie's tired of this bullshit. She's just like, now kiss! Look at him blush! Karma lands an easy hit on Garland, who sighs in response. Whenever Garland thinks about Jurian, he gets distracted. I don't understand his feelings at all, but seeing him remain quiet frustrates me. Jurian is talented and poised. I could never be good enough for her. Me. Sweetie! Sweetie. You know, sweetie, no. Stop. You'll never win a woman's heart if you don't compliment her looks as well, Garland. Thanks, Karma. You give the best advice. Well, she's pretty too. Beautiful. And then there's me. Sweetie! Look at you! You're so handsome! You're so handsome! I mean, not compared to him, but you know, you're so handsome in your own right! Aren't they both knights? Haven't they been training together for a long time? We'll save it. Just say something to her! Jeez! Well, all you ever do is talk about her. Even Karma says your concentration is lacking because she's always on your mind. So just tell her. If she doesn't like you back, that's that. That's it. I know. If she doesn't like me back. Oh. Sweetie, I know it's really hard to deal with that. The possibility of rejection when you like somebody and you feel like you're not good enough for them and you're worried they won't like you back. But, like, if they don't like you back, I know you just gotta respect it and move on. But, like, if they do like you back, then you can stop wasting time. And, it's just better to say something. Confessions are hard, Princess. Very tedious. I know, but sometimes they're necessary. You're only saying that because you're dramatic about everything. It's true, though. The very nature of love is dramatic, darling. With a little winky face. But enough idle chatter. Let us continue our training. I end up staying longer than I intended. By the time I consider returning to the tavern, Garland and Karma are wrapping up for the night. Oh, you're gonna be so tired the next day. I have a question for Karma, so I wait until Garland leaves before I approach him. You're still here, Princess? Were you seeking out alone time with me by chance? Yes, I apparently have a question to ask you. I have enough of that every day when we run errands. I just have a question for you. You always come to the right person. What can I do for you, Princess Sophie? Look at this sparkle. You ask Garland the same question every time you train, and he always tells you that he cannot confess. Karma nods in acknowledgement, but his attention is on his sword. He inspects it carefully before sheathing it. It frustrates me. You're frustrated? That look of his always annoys me. You mean that sly, smirky look with the lidded eyes and... Oh, okay. Oh, my. It's annoying. Did you want me to ask why he won't confess? Because you're so frustrated? Yes. I suppose after almost 2 months, I do know you a bit better. You don't know anything about me. Sweetie, we know everything about you. And we know that you're a turd. And I do not know anything about Karma either. Well, you know slightly more than you did before. Confessing isn't easy, dear Sophie. Surely you must realize that the possibility of rejection is a significant deterrent. Yeah, but the possibility of acceptance is, like... Isn't that where hope comes from? Like, come on. I know, rejection's hard, okay? I've done it. I've been there. But, like... It's harder being in the maybe than it is accepting a no. That's all I gotta say. But if you never ask, you never get an answer, and the stress of worrying stays with you and ruins everything. Yeah, see, that's exactly the point I made. Karma says dots. Why are you staring at me? Is that the reason you're so blunt, Princess? I mean, probably. Blunt? You're far more blunt than I am. Princess Sophie, you truly are amusing. You're as sharp as a knight's blade. Well, you just called me blunt. Now I'm sharp and I'm blunt? I am not amusing. You are totally amusing. That is a matter of opinion, darling. Sparkles. He really is insufferable. And yet I still come to him for advice. Yeah, because we like him. The scariest part of a confession is the possibility of rejection. That is true. Can you imagine loving someone and then finding out they don't feel the same way about you? Yeah, I can. Okay, I know. It's hard. But again, the maybe is harder. Because it eats away at you from the inside. If somebody tells you no, yeah, it hurts and it sucks and it takes a while to get over it, but get over it, you do. Okay. My thoughts shift to the king. My chest tightens. Princess Sophie, you're all up in my business right now. Karma reaches out a hand to brush a strand of hair out of my face. I slap it away without realizing. He pulls his hand back with a gentle sigh. My apologies, Princess. No, I cannot imagine. Bullshit! No? Loving someone and finding out they don't feel the same way? I always knew my father never loved me. My understanding is different from what Karma is referring to. Besides, I no longer hold any love in my heart for the king. I've already given up hope on him. Right? It's a good thing you haven't experienced a rejected love, Princess. It's one of the worst feelings. Yeah. That is true. I know here I am being like, just do it and get it over with, you'll be fine, but yeah, okay, I do get it. It's pretty awful. I don't know if it's the worst, but sure, one of the worst, yeah. Karma asks to be alone, so I return to the tavern by myself that night. Oh, hi! God, you're so pretty. Okay, and we've gone over our time, so we're gonna save this up. Go to page 2. Yay, we're on our page 2 of saves. Save it again just to be sure. And we are going to call it quits for this episode. I think that this has been a good episode. We have done some story things, and we've made a little bit of progress on the Karma story. We've shared a few theories. And we've talked about love and loss and rejection, which is always a fun thing to do on a YouTube video. That's just sweet. Okay, so we are going to call it a night. And I will see you guys in the next episode.